Well, that was a precursor to the reading of the budget, of course, an event that we have been following all day. Abby Agina is in studio with us from our business desk. You're going to tell us what are the highlights of this budget, aren't you? Who are the winners and losers?
Thank you very much, Nancy. Looking at this year's budget, quite a lot happened in terms of the Cabinet Secretary trying to put together a plan that would see the general public and also investors get the best out of it. It's now time to take a quick look of who were the winners and who were the losers. So we start off with the Infrastructure and Transport Ministry. They received a whopping 277 billion shillings that will go towards road construction as well as road maintenance, and also the annuity program, which is about to get about 5 billion shillings. Especially this is a sector that the government has continued to put emphasis on in terms of trying to boost connectivity in the country as well as increase returns from the sector. The other key sector that got a significant allocation was agriculture, specifically irrigation. Well, irrigation has received 13.8 billion shillings, which is a big, I would say, big jump from the numbers that they got in the last year's budget, which is around 3 billion shillings. So this comes in handy because it will help in boosting food security, especially with the Galana Kularu irrigation scheme. Other than that, the other sector that got, I would say, the biggest allocation was the security docket, which received 223 billion shillings. This will go towards various activities in terms of one of them being acquiring police vehicles for police officers, and also the money will be channeled towards setting up an insurance scheme for police officers. Other than that, a lot will also go towards border security. The other biggest winner was youth empowerment, which would say the government is trying to tackle between reducing high youth unemployment by trying to find ways of stimulating economic activity. They're putting in 27 billion shillings. This will go towards the Wezo Fund as well as the Youth Enterprise Development Fund, the Women Enterprise Development Fund, and of course the National Youth Service. The National Youth Service actually received around 25 billion shillings, the largest ever. Last year they received under just 20 billion shillings, and also this particular docket is critical in terms of they're trying to capacitate it to have people that will be able to construct roads. They're actually setting up a national construction unit under that. The other area to watch was the energy sector, which received 55 billion shillings that will go towards various energy generating activities such as geothermal and as well as power connections, and of course the last mile connectivity program, which aims to bring in Kenya's to become a better country in terms of increasing its competitiveness. If you know very well, a lot of manufacturers have had issues with the energy, saying that the government needs to bring down the cost of electricity. Cost of electricity has actually gone down by about 30%. Of course, majority of Kenyans saying they're still not filling it. The other biggest area was on capital gains tax. This is basically the tax that is actually accruing from the sale of property and as well as shares. This has been a subject of major concern, especially from stockbrokers and also investors who are investing in the stock exchange. The Cabinet Secretary scrapped the 5% capital gains tax, which was reintroduced early last year, as well as he introduced a 0.3% that will go towards sale of shares. Now, we turn our attention to the biggest losers. Among the losers, we have the landlords, the real estate sector. The Cabinet Secretary, in his speech, he mentioned that a lot has been happening actually in the housing sector, and they are looking forward to getting a lot of income from this sector. Landlords will pay 12% tax on rental income. This is basically going to affect the landscape in the real estate sector, where you're seeing landlords at the end of the year, they'll be able to work out whatever they've collected. They'll take 12% to the taxman. The other area of concern, of course, was in the manufacturing and importers, and this basically touches a lot on the issue of fishing. Fishing nets have actually received I would say, a 25% import duty. This was some of the highlights, Nancy, when it comes to the biggest winners and losers. Of course, there are other sectors that also benefited out of this. Employers will be getting a tax rebate by getting in interns. That was one of the proposals that was tabled by the Cabinet Secretary, just to try and stimulate economic activity, which has been rather sluggish in the last few months, owing to the various shocks that the country has been experiencing, especially over insecurity, which has had a big dent on tourism, Nancy.
Of course, and we're going to be talking a bit more about that just now. Thank you very much.